Hello, and
Hello.
welcome to Once More, a podcast where two best pals rewatch, re-examine, and revisit our favorite movies, shows, and TV series. I'm Ryan something.
And I'm Jen Katz.
Hey, Jenny.
Hi, Ryan. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Is Halloween your favorite holiday?
Halloween is my very favorite season.
It's a whole season.
Yes,
I love
it's
that.
fall.
It's a lifestyle. Yeah, fall is my favorite season too.
Yeah, starts October, sometimes late September, and rolls all the way through Thanksgiving. For me.
Well, it should. I feel like in this state, sometimes the weather part doesn't happen until right before Thanksgiving.
No, there's a lot of make-believe in my head.
Yeah, well, we can unpack that at a later time.
I have.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, I love Halloween. And, I got to hit you with a question straight out the gate.
Sure.
If you were stuck in your last Halloween costume due to some magical situation, what would you be stuck as?
I didn't have a Halloween costume last year because I didn't do anything on Halloween. I went to dinner. So what would you be?
Barbie. I was Margot Robbie's Barbie when she's got like the checked dress on the very beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was my costume. So I would be stuck in a blonde wig,
Mm-hmm.
that outfit. And then would I be a Barbie? Like, would I turn into a Barbie, or would I just think I was Margot Robbie as Barbie?
I don't know. Would your feet hit the ground?
Flat feet. I don't know.
I guess not. Not if you were stuck in those heels.
What are the rules?
It's your game. You get to make them.
No.
You ask the question.
These are the consequences of my.
There are no rules. You get to make your own rules, Jenny.
Well, okay. Another question.
Mhm.
Has a shadowy figure from your past shown up and tried to cast magical spells?
Let's not go there. Please.
Okay.
On that note, we're going to get into our next episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay. Today, we will be discussing the 6th episode of the 2nd season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Halloween. It was written by Joss Whedon with Carl Ellsworth and directed by Bruce Seth Green and premiered on October 27th, 1997, which is very close to a birthday.
I was 17 and 1 day old.
Wow.
I just gave everyone my birthday.
Please steal his identity. You're going to be doxxed.
Okay.
We're like, we know your name's not something. We've got your information.
Spoiler alert.
I love that this episode actually came out close to Halloween. Very in the spirit of the holiday. I love this episode. I'm just going to go at the gate and say it. I really enjoy this episode. It's one of my favorite of season 2. Probably in my top 15 of the whole series.
Wow.
I just enjoy it. I like a flipping the world upside down type of story. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
We might disagree.
I can't wait to get to that. Do you want to give us the synopsis according to Google?
Sure. On Halloween, Buffy and Willow and Xander are voluntold by Principal Schneider to take groups of children trick-or-treating. But there's trouble when everyone changes into their costumes.
Yeah. That would be really fucking scary. To all of a sudden your Halloween costume, those kids who have goblin masks on turn into actual goblins. Like that would be pretty terrifying. Ugh.
Yeah, we already don't like creepy kids, so
no.
Adding their Halloween costumes on top of that.
Oh man, you know who would have loved this?
Oh.
Colin Yorgios would have been having such a time.
Would have run amok.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about Halloween when my husband and I were the kids from Stranger Things and you were Pablo Escobar. Could you imagine if we got stuck in those costumes?
I'd have my comfy shoes on.
You were in dad gear. You were Pablo Escobar from what was that show? Narcos,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you had the car phone, the portable phone playing the theme song. That was
I did.
Great. We'll have to put that on our Instagram, some of our best Halloween moments.
You were 11. You had the Eggo waffle box.
I was 11 when she had her blonde wig on.
I have to tell a story. I was flipping through photos with your child, your eldest, as we do, while I was waiting for the other one at dance.
Yes. Oh, that reminds me. I got to sign them up for dance. Anyway, sorry.
And we're flipping through photos and we come across the one from that Halloween. And she immediately recognizes me, which I guess says a lot about what I wear on a regular basis. But she had some questions about you in your outfit. She's like, is that mom? And I was like, yeah.
When I was 11?
She said, I don't get it. And I said, well, she's playing 11 from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The show Stranger Things, thinking that she's seen it.
No.
And then it dawned on me that she hasn't.
She's 6.
You know, she had the look on her face
of
something's not computing, but
Yeah.
she's trying to compute it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And she was just kind of looking at it, and then she was looking at me, and then she's looking back at the photo. She's like, are those waffles? I'm like, yes. She's like, what is she doing? I was like, it's hard to explain. It was Halloween.
You're going to ask that about your mother a lot. My child, what is she doing? Okay. Guess what, everyone? We are done with the in every generation there is a Slayer. She's the chosen one. And we have decided.
By Rupert.
By Rupert Giles.
Well, he just did this season.
Yes. Previous season was that guy that was like, in a world. He had that. I don't know what that guy was going for.
Okay.
So, as you may recall, Monsieur, you said you were going to learn this little monologue and do a dramatic reading.
I can.
I expect full drama. Like you are either reading for the call map or you are Michael Caine in A Muppet Christmas Carol. I need you to take this so seriously.
I need Muppets.
You got me. It's pretty. I'm basically Rizzo the Rat.
No comment.
Okay. And here we go.
In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires and demons and forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
Wow.
How's that?
That was great. You should really
It's the best I got.
read beyond these like sleep apps and calm and your was it USC? Remy UNC?
Flattery will get you nowhere.
I beg to differ. Mon ami. It's gotten me lots of places. What was your app? The mindfulness app?
Uh-huh.
Start. If you would like to hear Ryan something, read you to sleep, send us a message, DM. I think you would be great at it. And I'm not the only one that has said that, as you know.
Great.
Yeah. Calm if you're listening. Sponsor us and hire Ryan.
We'll put a little button here. People can make a donation.
Yes.
We need I can read to you.
Unfortunately, we have lost our Rupert Giles monologue. She is a Slayer. But we have now gained a Ryan something version that will just pop in every episode now. So you're welcome.
Cool. We
do get a previously on when we start this episode, and they show Spike and Drusilla. Spike and Drusilla are here. Spike is here. He's here. He's got Drusilla. They're hot. Oh, he's killed 2 Slayers. That is important to note.
They are hot.
They are hot. So then after the previously on, we go to a pumpkin patch.
Love the pumpkin patch.
Where Buffy is just...
There's a rumble in the pumpkin patch.
There's a rumble in the pumpkin patch. Why is that funny to say?
I love it. There's a roll in the hay. Not the good kind.
Not this time, at least. Buffy's fighting 2 vamps. It's a good fight scene, but there were a couple things that made me laugh. Like she throws a stake at one and he picks up like a scarecrow stuffed pumpkin thing, holds it in front, deflects. And then we get the one vampire with the video camera who like comes out of the shadows with it.
Yeah, they're making a training video essentially.
Yeah.
They're like studying the opposition.
Yeah, it's like football film where
that's it.
Yeah. And I love that the actual camera goes to the point of view of the video camera. It's like low battery. I don't know what they're doing.
Love it.
And Buffy stakes the one vampire with a sign, like welcome to the pumpkin patch, stakes him. And I have a point of order. That vampire with the video camera, does Buffy have vampire senses or not? Because he's right there.
I think she's still honing them, if I'm not mistaken.
Literally in the first episode.
She's on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes she's literally on top of them and can't figure it out.
This is a spoiler. This
Angel.
is... Oh.
Sorry.
That's the thing. Like, how did she not know Angel was a vampire?
The rest of us did.
The rest of us did. I don't know why they do this with her. They should have never established that she has vampire senses. Because also when she was in the bronze dancing with Willow and Xander, Spike was right there. Nary a tingle.
Well, they're also...
I felt a tingle. She did not. Okay. If you would like me to stop saying that stuff, please don't message because I'm not going to stop.
For $5 more, she'll tell you where she felt the tingle.
Ding. You made a really hilarious comment on the vampire with a video camera. Please share with the class about his makeup.
Yeah, so we were talking about how bad the vamp makeup was.
Yeah.
I said this guy reminds me of like a cast member from the Broadway show Cats.
He really does.
The focus was on like the cat-like teeth.
Yeah. It's weird.
This is the videographer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of shadow in the shot, so it's like highlighting weird parts of the makeup, and it looked very feline.
Yeah, it's Cats.
And I do like they kind of make the vampires in Buffy a bit more feline than other vampires because their eyes get yellow. It's kind of like an upturned or not upturned, but like their teeth are kind of cat-like. They're not just like the True Blood where it's like the fangs come down. Yeah. Their teeth change, but this looks like maybe he's auditioning for Vampire Black Box Theater.
Good.
He's trying to get in with the troupe. They're very difficult to they don't let new members in all the time.
It's like, I'm the next magical Mr. Mistopheles.
I was going to say the next Luke, but that's better. It's like,
it's trying out.
Oh man. Okay. Credits.
How could you forget a name like that from that show?
How could I forget a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we go to the credits and then we go to the bronze. And hey, just to jump ahead, Angel's outfit is my fashion nay.
Yeah.
He's in a blue.
You hate this.
Sure, I hate it. Angel needs to be in darker colors.
Black t-shirts, white.
White t-shirts, fine. Yeah. The V-necks.
Right.
At the end of the episode, he's got that.
Black
he's got that white. It's not linen, but it's like a thinner material where he's got it really unbuttoned when he's like lounging on Buffy's bed. He looks great. This is fucking terrible. I don't like it.
Gray's not his color.
It's blue.
Maybe.
I think it's blue. It was baby blue.
Kind of a foghorn gray.
I'm sorry. What?
I don't know.
If you think Angel's shirt is blue, press 1. Okay. So Angel's hanging out and Cordelia comes and sits with him and she's going off about Devin, who we met last week. Or no, we meet Devin.
Is it Cordelia that's sitting with Angel?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's why Buffy was so pissed.
Yes. When did we meet Devin and Oz? Was that Inca Mummy Girl? I think so. Yes, because last week was the fraternity.
We're just getting glimpses of Oz right now. We're not like, he's not fully developed as a character.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But
I keep giving him the same line. And
who is that girl? So Cordelia's complaining about Devin because I guess she's over the frat boys. She's back to high school boys. She's dating Devin, who's the lead singer of Dingoes Ate My Baby. And she's like, oh, Devin's not showing. But she tells Angel, his loss is your incredible gain. What a line. Cordelia is so cool.
Confident. Yeah.
I love her.
I love it.
And yeah, Buffy walks in and she sees Angel like laughing with Cordelia. Buffy's
not having it.
No, because she feels all, she comes in and she's been slain in the pumpkin patch. And I love it. She tries to leave and Angel gets up and he's like, Buffy. And he pulls like hay out of her hair or something. And she's embarrassed. And of course, Cordelia has to walk up.
She's got to come up and give her a dig about her hair.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh, Buffy, nice hair. She's always fucking with Buffy's hair.
She knows that that's the one thing that like really gets Buffy's goat.
Yeah, because Buffy takes pride in her appearance.
Every single time she says something about her hair, Buffy loses it.
She deflates a little bit. Yeah. Buffy's just kind of defeated. She's like, who am I kidding? This isn't a date. Dates are things that normal girls have. She just wants to be a normal girl. She's like, you know what I'm thinking about? Ambush tactics.
She's like, normal girls are thinking about nail polish and facials.
Yeah. She's thinking about ambush tactics. And then she just basically says, you know what, I'm going to leave. And Angel's still standing there. And Cordelia walks up with 2 cups of cappuccinos. And she like offers one to Angel. She goes, cappuccino? And my question is, do you think Angel stayed for the cappuccino?
I think he stayed, but I don't think he drank the cappuccino.
You don't think he drank it?
No.
He's like, I don't need this. No. Do you think...
The part of me that wants to be the right type of Angel says that he followed Buffy home. But gave her space.
I bet he probably like told Cordelia, thanks, but no thanks.
Right.
And he probably followed Buffy from a distance.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I agree. So we go to the school and it's Halloween decorations all over the place. People are in the hallways. Snyder's got his clipboard. He's like making people volunteer for stuff. And Buffy, Willow, and Xander are walking in, and God, Snyder's such a dick. He looks at Buffy and says, just the juvenile delinquent I was looking for. Why does he hate her so much?
After she saved his ass at the faculty teacher parent night.
Oh, yeah. Literally saved everybody.
Saved everyone, including him.
And he's just, There's
more to him than we know.
Mm-hmm. We do know he knows about vampires.
We know.
So he makes Buffy and Willow and Xander, we find out, they are voluntold to be a part of this children's safety program on Halloween where they take the kids trick-or-treating for 2 hours.
Are you sending your children to a high school on Halloween to trick-or-treat for 2 hours?
No.
With
Absolutely not.
Random teenagers?
No.
Who were voluntold?
No.
Not even the ones who volunteered.
No. This is bananas. I remember when the first time I watched this.
In Sunnydale, too. So keep in mind that you're a parent in this community that knows.
Oh my God, you're right.
Can you imagine?
You're potentially sending your child off to their own death.
Oh, it's great.
But I guess does everyone get the memo that things are quiet on Halloween? That's why everyone feels safe. Everybody's not doing anything on Halloween.
Here's a release, ma'am. Could you please sign this for your children?
When I first watched it, I remember thinking, they're going to do like a trunk or treat at the school and the parents are going to come.
This is before trunk or treats. That did not exist in 1997.
See, I'm when I watched it, it was 2011, 2012. So by that point it was a thing. And I'm like, oh no, they're taking them.
Yeah.
Did they drive them to the neighborhood? How did the kids get from the school to these houses?
If Sunnydale High is in the middle of a neighborhood, we've got some bigger issues to talk about, but also good to know for the map.
Has anyone worked on the map yet?
Working on it.
Waiting on it. Okay. So I originally said this was going to be one of my fashion slays, Buffy's look here. I like it from here up.
Yeah.
Her hair.
It's a great tank top.
Impeccable. Tank top. Great. The
hair looks good.
The chain, the long cross necklace. Yeah. Great. Then we see her pants. It's a plaid, but it's like a trash bag material. Mm-hmm. Not a sleigh. But noted
I don't mind it.
This tank top is a Dolce & Gabbana tank top.
It is.
Budget has increased. That's why Vampire looks like he's in Cats. They ran out of money.
Old Hank buying her.
Oh, maybe that was in LA.
Summer.
That's right.
In LA.
Yeah, because she can't afford a Halloween costume, but she's wearing the tank.
Straight from Rodeo Drive. She's got to get Cordelia's goat on
Big
fashion.
Mistake.
Big
Huge.
mistake. Huge.
So we meet a new character. I don't know if we catch his name, but this, fucking jock asshole comes up to Xander while Xander's getting a soda.
Great vending machine. I miss those.
I know.
Old school.
Those were so cool because they had the big buttons that you could like.
Big buttons. There's like 4 things to choose from. You
I know.
gotta put the quarters in.
So nice. Yeah. So Xander's getting a soda. This kid comes up. I'm just going to say his name because we find out his name at some point. His name is Larry. And Larry's like, yo, Harris, so are you and Buffy like a thing? And Xander's like, no.
Right.
And he says that he heard that Buffy was fast. I like Xander in this moment because he says, hey, that's my friend you're talking about. I'm going to quickly not like Xander, but he stands up for Buffy. And then Larry's about to like punch him in the middle of the hallway at the vending machine. What's happening? And then Buffy comes up and like twists Larry's arm. She's like, hey, move, gets him out and she sees a Diet Dr. Pepper or is it a Diet Coke?
It's a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Gross. Oh, Diet. So instead of Xander being like, thanks, Buff, he's like, Buffy, how could you do that? Now my reputation as a sissy man's going to be, he's mad that a girl helped him out.
Right. Well, yes. I was going to say that I don't think he was doing the right thing earlier I don't think he was standing up for Buffy. I think he was standing up for his own kind of ego with the bro. He was trying to like match the bro and then quickly realized that he couldn't.
Yeah.
And Buffy, I think, embarrassed him. I mean, it was a shot to his ego. But I don't think he was doing it for the right intentions. But maybe I'm not giving him enough credit.
I think me, I'm not one to give Xander credit. I think the line to me was just so clear when after Larry says, I heard she's fast. Xander's like, hey, that's my friend you're talking about. you know, like,
Okay.
and then, yeah, I think he quickly realizes like, fuck, wants to backtrack. And then he's embarrassed by Buffy. And, you know, that's, as Willow says later, boys are so fragile.
Right.
You know, he felt embarrassed. And on one hand, I understand the embarrassment, like take gender out of it. When you get rescued by someone, when you're trying to stand up for something, sometimes that can feel like a little like, hey, I can handle myself. Thank you. But he makes it more about you're a girl. Now guys are going to say I'm a sissy.
A sissy man.
Not like, hey, I don't need you to fight my battles for me. It's
bruised his ego for sure.
Right. It's you're a girl and you stuck up for me in front of a boy. Here we go.
He needs industrial strength therapy.
Yeah, he does.
He does. I made a note at one point at the end when they're all in the chaos of Halloween. I'm like, all of these children need therapy.
Yeah.
Trauma with a capital T.
The whole fucking town.
Xander kind of stalks off and Buffy's like, oh, guess he's mad at me. And Willow says, boys are so fragile.
They are.
Buffy and Willow are sitting down talking.
Teenagers are fragile.
Yes, that's true. Cut. So she's saying that she saw Angel and Cordelia at the Bronze. And she's basically saying like, you know, I wish I could be the type of girl that Angel likes. Something like that. Somebody who's uncomplicated. And Willow's being a little sneaky here. I love it. She's like, you know, too bad we can't go look at the Watcher's diaries and see what kind of girls Angel would have liked at that time period. And they're like, yeah, that would be too bad because those are private.
How are they just now getting around to this idea?
Okay, fella.
Okay.
I don't know. It's
not a bad idea.
It's not, but I do like Buffy. She's like, it would be wrong. Cut to them like peering into the library.
Right. As if that was the catalyst to actually make them incentivize them to actually go do it.
Right. This next scene is my other nay. The fuck did they put Giles in? He's wearing like a blue button up with a cream colored sweater vest and this red tie. The man needs muted colors and tweed. They might as well have put the fucking paisley scarf back on him. It's so bad. I hate it.
That shirt kind of looked like the Nancy Meyer shirt you had on yesterday.
It did.
It's the same shirt.
I don't think I have a picture of me in that shirt, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I hate it. And
you'll have to insert photo.
Yeah. And Buffy's gonna distract Giles while Willow sneaks in and gets the Watcher's diaries.
It's such a bumble. Like, oh.
She's like, Giles, we need to talk. You're scaring me. You need to have more fun.
These are the parts of Buffy the Vampire Slayer that I find so light and comical.
It's funny. Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar's funny, and she's trying really hard to distract him, and then Giles keeps trying to look over where Willow is, and then finally Buffy goes, Miss Calendar said you were a babe.
Yeah, she just went there.
And Willow kind of rolls her eyes, but it works.
It worked.
And
he's interested. He's like, wait, I'm a hunk of what?
Yeah.
It's like a hunk of meat or a hunk of
what
did she
what
say
did she
specifically?
Say? And then Willow gets the Watcher's diary, which looks like a scrapbook. Like I expected the Watcher's diaries to be like a thick tome. It's like this kind of flat, and it looks like a scrapbook you got at Hobby Lobby. Maybe they got that where they got Impata's plate from Inca Mummy Girl.
Do not be fooled by its outside appearance.
That's true. That's true. So Buffy kind of says, oh, you know what? None of my business. Gotta go. Jets off. And then they end with Giles going, a babe. I can work with that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Everybody needs a confidence boost every now and then.
That's true. They do.
That was his.
And he needed one after wearing that god-awful outfit.
Tell you what.
Hey.
It did numbers for him later in this episode. Gave him the confidence that he needed just to.
Can't wait to get there.
Okay.
My finger's gonna be on the Giles Good Lord button. Everyone in the suck fest.
Like 4 buttons. She's all gonna press at the same time.
Push that over here. So we go to the bathroom, and Buffy and Willow are like perched on the sinks, looking at the Watcher's diaries. I'm like, we had nowhere else to go. This is a cute scene. I like it when they ground us in the fact that they're high school students.
Sure, and they're friends.
And there's a drawing of a woman from the 1700s in the like period appropriate dress. And Buffy's like, it'd be so nice. And, just going to balls and wearing gowns and frittering about all day.
Sure.
Willow's got a great response. She's like, I think I prefer the right to vote. We love Willow.
Register to vote.
Register. Good reminder. If you're not registered to vote, please do. We have a very important national election this year. So vote. Participate. Make your voice heard. And Cordelia comes in. You're going to have to take it away because you came off the couch a little bit when Miss Cordelia Chase walked into the bathroom.
Yeah, well, I want to be appropriate.
This is all respectful.
Sure. She looks great.
Yeah.
This is one of my fashion slays.
Mm-hmm.
She's wearing the skirt with the black blazer and the white open collar, button-up shirt. And then her hair is like she just walked out of a fucking blowout. She looks
amazing.
Yeah, she looks great.
She looks really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she comes in.
It's a nice outfit.
Putting her lipstick on.
Yeah.
And
it again reminds me of the scene from Cruel Intentions with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Reese Witherspoon when they're in the bathroom after Ryan Phillippe's funeral, and she's wearing the same outfit. She's wearing the black blazer with the white button-up shirt, and they've done this a few times.
Yeah.
So I wonder if the Cruel Intentions scene was kind of a nod to like Sarah Michelle Gellar in these like Sunnydale bathroom scenes, or maybe I'm just reaching. I don't know. Maybe it was just the fashion, the schoolgirl.
I think it's the fashion
at the late 90s, because you also had
Clueless,
and then you had what's the guy from Clueless?
The who?
The actress from Clueless.
Oh, Alicia Silverstone.
And then you had Alicia Silverstone in the Aerosmith videos.
Yes,
as the schoolgirl. You had Britney Spears.
Oh, Baby One More Time.
And you had Christina Aguilera in that same sort of.
Yeah, I think it was just the trends. I think it was very trendy. Yeah, but she looks great. She's ribbing Buffy about Angel. She's like, "Oh yeah, Angel and I had nice time with the Browns last night." Blah blah blah. And she's like, "What's his deal? I never see him around." And Buffy and Willow are like, "Yeah, you won't."
Yeah, she's fishing.
Yeah, and she's like, "Angel's a vampire," and Cordelia's like, "What?
Yeah,
okay, like you guys will say anything to keep me from Angel." And they're like, "No, for real, we thought you knew."
Again, this man is 254 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And these high school gals are like
twittering over him.
Yep.
Well, it's not problematic. So I think they refer to Angel as like a Care Bear with fangs. Might as well be, because he gets subdued so easily at the end of this episode. I'm like, sir. Anyway. So they go to the costume shop to get some costumes for Halloween, because Snyder said costumes are mandatory for the kids trick-or-treating situation. And Willow gets a ghost. And Buffy, I want to know your thoughts on this scene, because I've got thoughts. So they go to this costume shop. It's busy. It's bumping. Everyone's buying their stuff for Halloween. And Buffy and Willow are shopping around, and Willow comes up with a ghost costume. And it's just like traditional ghost. It's a sheet with eyes cut out. I'm like, good for you, costume shop, because literally could have made this at home.
Sure.
And they probably sold it for, Ethan sold it for a couple good bucks.
$8.
Good. Eat that, Ethan Rayne. So enterprising.
Yeah, new character.
Oh yeah, can't wait to get him. But Buffy's like, Willow, she said, I want to give you some friendly advice. And Buffy's like, hey, you're never going to get noticed if you keep hiding. You're missing the whole point of Halloween. Mm-hmm. It's come as you aren't tonight. And, it's a perfect chance for a girl to get sexy and wild with no repercussions. Willow says, I don't get wild, which I love it. And they kind of end the conversation there because Xander shows up. But to me, it was so interesting because we grew up in this era. Like you, especially, you said you were 17. You're their age at this time. Mm-hmm. Even when I was in high school in the 2000s, that was kind of the thing. Halloween, like you were a sexy something, sexy flight attendant, sexy nurse.
Yeah.
And it's it's an interesting concept to me of, is it a liberating kind of thing? Or is it also like it's the standards for women are so difficult that like you get the one night to just be sexy with no repercussions. You should be sexy with no repercussions all the time.
Agreed.
And it just, I don't know, listening to it this time, I was like, I get it. Yeah. I get it. It was of the time. That's what everybody did. You were like, it's Halloween. You can be slutty and la, la, la.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to hear because I think we're moving in a different direction.
Yeah, I think this is kind
Society-wise.
of the peak of that up until, you know, maybe a little further into the next century.
Yeah, at high school, definitely. That's my friends and I were
Yeah.
all sexy something.
Yeah, I think that it was still a bit kind of intertwined with a bit of the cultural standards of it being more for the patriarchy, where it
Yeah.
was more to benefit the desire of men. But,
Very male gaze.
but
Yeah.
you're, I think we're at a point in the 90s here where, I mean, there's peak you know, feminist icons who are, you know, expressing themselves in a way that I think women were able to take back
Mm-hmm.
some of this from the male gaze and make it more about liberating
Yeah.
for them. And it's just it's just another generation repeating almost the same cycle or continuing what the generation before them had built on, which was, you know, burn your bras, you know, free love.
Right.
And so, you know, we're just seeing it in a different, playing out in a different scenario here in the 90s.
Yeah, it's just
to me.
interesting. Like,
And I'm here for it.
and you know, I've got 2 daughters, which I'm sure people are like, yeah, we know. If they're,
I'm sorry, maybe that was deeper than you wanted to
no,
go. with this.
no, that's why I want to know your thoughts. It's
Yeah.
like I go back and forth because if I'm honest, if my children were 16
Right.
and they wanted to be a sexy nurse for Halloween, I don't know how I would feel about it because part of me is like,
at 16.
yeah, part of me is like, are you doing this because it's
Right.
It's like the patriarchy ideal of, you know, girls dress up sexy on Halloween, but boys don't.
Sure.
Or
Are you doing this because you're going to go to a party and you want to fit in, or you want to be seen
Yeah.
by a certain male or whoever?
Yeah,
it may
true.
be,
Could be anybody.
whatever it may be.
Typically in this conversation, it's like you said earlier, it's
Sure.
for the male
Right.
viewing pleasure.
I think where you take the control back, and I'm not going to speak on behalf of women everywhere, but it seems to me the difference lies in whose choice it is.
Yeah, I would agree. But I do think we're moving from that. I don't know. I'm not tapped into high school students. I don't know what the youth are doing, but I don't feel like it's as big of a thing. I feel like, I don't know, maybe we're so in our age brackets in our 30s and 40s, and I've got kids. The last few Halloweens, is it still a thing to be like a sexy whatever
Absolutely,
for Halloween?
I think it is. Excuse me. People love to let their freak flag fly on Halloween because this is a
let it fly.
legitimate reason that you can just kind of throw abandon into the wind and kind of wear whatever you want and do it. And hey, and I'm here for it. I think that the original intention of Halloween was to dress up in costumes so you could scare away the mystical,
right?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Goblins, you like keep them at bay. You have to be like scarier than whatever else you're scared of. But no, I think this could be a much deeper conversation.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
About, you know, power and, you know, patriarchy and sex and intention. I don't need a costume shop to tell me what's sexy.
And that's the end of that conversation. You don't need anything but yourself to feel sexy, no matter what you're wearing, whether it's a sexy butler outfit or a t-shirt, or even Giles's god awful cream sweater vest. If Giles feels sexy, that's all that matters. Buffy and Willow's conversation is interrupted by Xander, who comes up and he's got a little toy gun. And Buffy apologizes. Xander accepts. You know, he says he's going to be a soldier for Halloween. In mid-conversation, Buffy walks off because she sees a beautiful ball gown on a mannequin. And then I would say a handsome man. Ethan Rayne's got, speaking of sexy, Ethan Rayne's got a swagger that I like.
Ma'am.
You don't think so?
My first note that is still original from last year is creepy costume shop guys gotta be a bad guy.
Yeah, no, he absolutely, that's straight out the gate.
Period.
But I'm just saying he's got this kind of like, no, we need a Chris Hansen for, why is that guy owning a shop with teenagers in it? It's not right. Anyway, we learn this is.
Where'd he come from?
We don't know.
How long's he been in town?
We don't know.
Is this like one of those fly by night? What do they call the costume shops that they throw up?
Oh, the Spirit Halloween.
Yes. Is this a spirit shop?
Oh, the way it looks the next day when Giles goes back. Yes. Tune in. We will have a brief spoiler section after the end of the episode, and I will get into a little bit of Ethan Rayne stuff. He's English. He's got an English accent. And Buffy says she can't afford it. And I'm like, so I guess all her clothing, like you pointed out, is probably Hank. Because Joyce is the art gallery. She's a single mom. Can't buy her kid a Halloween costume. Gotta go. Okay. And Ethan says, you need this. I'll make you a deal. And then we cut to Spike. Yes, he's back. He was not in the last week's episode. He was in the last 2 episodes. Neither was Drusilla. Monster of the Week stuff. Now we're back.
Spike's back.
Spike's back. And he's watching the video of Buffy fighting in the pumpkin patch. I love it.
What's he say?
He says, can't even do it. Baby likes to play.
Baby likes to play.
The rain in Spain. We're still in a little bit of wibbly wobbly accent work. James Marsters, if you're listening, you're great. Professor
Higgins would like to see you.
Professor Higgins
at
will
his house
see you now
for the next 2 weeks.
It does get really good, but yeah, that the baby was like, what are we doing? Okay. But he's so interesting. I love that Spike is watching film of Buffy fighting.
Yeah.
He is studying her so he can kill her.
Opposition research.
It's great. We have not seen Vamps do this yet. We've seen the master monologuing in his like goo. Yeah. We've seen Colin Yorgios just sitting there like this, not doing jack. Angel's brooding.
We have literally the chosen one, and we have the master. And who else have we had? Has it been the main 2?
When we saw Absalom, that for one episode, it didn't really. Yeah.
These dudes do not have their shit together.
No.
Spike, on it. This is not his first Slayer. It's not his second Slayer.
No.
But he's certainly trying to make it his third.
He's smart. Like, I don't know.
He's bad.
He's bad.
He stays in Vamp Face.
He does. I
guess he's always Vamp, isn't he?
No, because he's not in Vamp Face in this scene when he talks to Drusilla.
Is he? Oh,
no.
Okay, cool.
But he is a lot in the end of the episode. So he's
on it.
He's so interesting. And he's like watching it. And again, they've really taken over this warehouse. They've got like a bank of TVs around, an installation. And then Drusilla walks out. She's looking a little peckish. She's holding her doll. Miss Edith needs her tea. And then she goes up. She's obviously kind of having a moment. She asks Spike if, do you love my insides? The parts you can't see. And the next line is one of the most famous Spike lines of the whole show.
Uh-huh.
Eyeballs to entrails, my sweet. Any fanfic I've read about Spike, no matter who he's with in these fanfics, he says that at some point. Mine that haven't worked on in 2 years, but it's there. He will not be saying this, just letting everyone know. No.
Where is it?
Where's my fanfic? Sitting in a file. It's probably still on my computer that's destroyed. No, I've sent it to you so I could pick it back up.
Yeah.
Anywho.
I'm just left hanging. They're lost in time.
They are lost in time in Paris.
And I don't know what's happening. I have thoughts. I have ideas.
Well, one of these days, if we, I'll pick it back up. One of these days. Okay. So he asked Drew if she's had a vision because she says something's coming to weaken the Slayer. And he's like, what is it? What is it? She says, someone has come on Halloween to change things. Okay.
This isn't like a premonition?
Yes.
Something that she knows.
So we're starting to kind of get an idea.
Inside scoop.
Maybe. Does she have precognition?
Okay.
Can she see the future?
Okay.
We don't really know, but something's going on.
What is she asking him? Do you love my insides?
I
just want to know what was this? This is Bruce Seth Green.
This is Bruce Seth Green, yeah. No. Sorry, Joss Whedon and Carl Ellsworth wrote.
Okay, well then I have my answer.
Yeah. So I do love that scene, and again, the eyeballs to entrails, my sweet. I'm like, ugh, it's so. Entrails is such a visceral word.
It's something a vampire would totally say as
1000%.
Like a compliment, kind of a playful tete-a-tete.
I love whenever we have Angel and Spike in the same episode, especially these earlier seasons, there's such a stark contrast between them. Angel, and I know Angel, he's got his curse, he's got his soul. Spike, as far as we know, vampires don't have souls. And James Marsters he's just so fun.
Yeah.
And he's such a good vampire. And Dave Boreanaz is fine as Angel. I've got my issues with Angel, but it's just so interesting to see the differences in those two vampires. So Can't wait to see what else is going to happen. All right.
I love Spike and Drusilla as a couple.
I do too.
I love their energy. She's not necessarily my favorite vampire
No.
alone, but the two of them together, love the chemistry.
They're
I'm in
great.
for it.
You know, Juliet Landau looks the exact same.
They do. Both of them look the same.
Well, I guess for me, James Marsters, he's got his hair brown, but he has, you know, he is Spike to me. But like Juliet Landau still has the jet black hair, pale skin. She could be Drusilla easily.
I love watching them on all the Comic-Con.
I do too. Yeah.
Stuff that they've got to say together.
They're great.
They really are a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Even years later, they still personify both of those characters.
You know, and it's always startling to hear them speak not as Spike and Drusilla.
Right. But to one another as if that is still a little bit a part of who they are. They carry those characters with them, especially when they're together. It's really cute.
It's really cute. I would love to go to a con if they were there.
I'd love to go to a fucking cocktail party with the two of them.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. Okay. So we cut to the guy who owns the costume shop.
Creepy costume guy.
He's in a robe.
Who's Ethan Rayne?
He's cut his palms.
That is such a name.
I love it.
Like, what's the
Ethan Rayne. Ethan Rayne.
the movie with the Wahlberg guy.
Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah. What are the, or no, it's not. It's Matt Damon.
Jason Bourne?
Jason Bourne. Ethan Rayne to me is like a Jason Bourne name. It's like this dude's gonna be like
coming
a spy
fall
or something.
2024.
Ethan Rayne.
Yeah. Wait, isn't Mission Impossible? Isn't his name Ethan Crane?
I think his name is Ethan Rayne. Let's look it up. There's something that tells me this is an action spy thriller character name.
Okay, so production has determined that the people are screaming at us listening to this. Tom Cruise's character, for many
Scream
reasons.
away.
We're also screaming.
We're happy to help you scream today.
Yeah.
Let it out.
Tom Cruise plays Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt.
Yeah. But now I want to see Ethan Rayne in a Mission Impossible style movie with his boyfriend,
Giles.
Rupert P. Giles.
Fanfic.
It is out there. I have read a few.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Mm-hmm. Ripper.
Is it?
God.
Wow.
Okay, so I quit.
Wow.
Brian, have a good time recording. Oh my God.
All of you need to make a donation right now. You're welcome.
Wow. Okay.
Once more, it contains mature content.
Ding.
Viewer discretion advised.
So Ethan is in a robe. He's cut his palms. He's like putting the blood on his face, and he's saying all these things, and I think
acting real fucking creepy in his back room.
Yes, and he's got this statue, which we learn is the Roman god Janus.
It's a bust.
It's a bust. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's got two different faces. And for those of you at home wondering, Janus is the god of beginnings, gates, transitions, time, duality, doorways, passages, frames, and endings. Yep, he's a Roman god.
Roman.
So we go to Buffy's house, and they're getting ready. And Buffy tells Willow, you know, Angel's going to meet Buffy at her house after trick-or-treating because Joyce is out. Where is Joyce? And what are they going to do? Play some checkers?
I guess Joyce is going to be at the museum tonight. Or not the museum.
The art gallery. Oh, yeah. Halloween's usually a really busy time for art galleries. You're right.
Or she's going to the adult party with all the adults that don't have children tonight.
Maybe it's like Hocus Pocus where they're all at the
gym.
They're all at the gym dancing. Madonna.
Gonna put a spell on you.
So Buffy's got a brown wig that's like piled up and coiffed, and she's got a little tiara.
Yeah, and it looks fucking perfect.
Willow comes out in her costume, not the ghost.
Willow is a dish.
That's what, Buffy says, you're a dish. I mean, really.
I love that.
I think she looks great. That outfit is amazing.
I think Willow's costume change from kind of the shy conservative outfit to a more bold one symbolizes her kind of growing into her confidence. And I think by the end of this episode, we'll see that just kind of that change. I think she internalized, and it comes out in her character. I think it's great for her character development. It's nice to see, because we've commented on this in the past, in recent episodes, actually, about how they always try to downplay Willow into a bit more of a childish appearance or feel. And so this is great to see her kind of make a more bold choice, although she's very uncomfortable with it.
That's my thing. I get uncomfortable watching this where it's like Buffy's pushing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, let her be. She's also 16, 17 or whatever. If she wants to be a ghost, like let her hang on to that a little while longer. Yeah.
Yeah. And Buffy's okay with it. You know, when she comes down the stairs and Xander is at the door and he sees Willow. He's like, oh, Willow. And Buffy looks back. She's like, she covered up. And it's like, hey, she didn't push her.
She didn't after
say,
that.
Willow, what'd you do? You know, or take it off or pressure her. She didn't. She was like, hey, I think she gassed her up when she had the opportunity to be like, hey, you look really good. You
and she does.
Dish.
Allison Hannigan looks great.
And then left it alone.
So I think Xander, when he shows up, I've noted he's being kind of cute for a minute. He's like, Buffy, Lady Buffy of Buffonia, you know, you look great. And then he's like, I take back my earlier comment about girls in spandex. Gotta do it.
I'm sick. I need help.
Because earlier when they were talking about how Buffy wishes, you know, or she says something about women in the ball gowns, and Xander's like, nah, I much prefer my women in spandex. It's like, do you have to?
Yeah, he does.
He does. But I do like the, you know, Lady Buffy of Buffonia.
It's cute.
It's cute.
It's playful.
And then we go to the high school because the kids are getting dropped off for the teenagers to take trick-or-treating.
What is he saying? Hold on. What does Xander tell her? He says, I can't wait for the boys to go nonverbal when they see you? Or was that
Buffy says that to Willow.
That to Willow. Yeah.
Buffy says that to Willow. Sorry. Larry is at the high school. He's dressed as a pirate, and he comes up to Xander and is like, where's your friend? She gonna stick up for you? She gonna, you know, she's not around to defend you or whatever. He's just such a dick. Larry. Yeah. And we cut to Oz. Oz is like loading up his instrument and
Oz is back.
We haven't seen Oz since Inca Mummy Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Cordelia shows up.
As a refresher, is the drummer in the
bass
band.
Player.
Excuse me. Oz is a
bass player
in the band.
Dingo's Ate My Baby.
Dingo's Ate My Baby.
And he's great. I love Seth Green. I love Oz. Happy to see him back. So Cordelia comes up in a cat suit. She is a cat for Halloween. Nothing but respect for everything I say in this episode.
It's a great outfit.
Cordelia looks stunning. Just Charisma Carpenter, again, also looks the exact same.
Put her in anything.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
She looks great.
Good for her. She wears it so well.
She does. And again, Oz has great lines. He says, geez, Cordelia, you're like a great big cat.
Meow.
Meow. And she's giving him the business. She's like, hey, you tell that Devin lead singer, blah, blah, blah. And she what does she say? She gives him this whole name, and Oz cuts her off and is like, I think he's going by Devin these days.
Yeah.
She's basically trying to get Oz to give Devin the business, but then ends it with like, but don't you tell him you saw me. And he's like, so what do you want me to do? She goes, nothing. God, weren't you listening? Like turns around and walks off.
High schoolers.
Yeah. And Oz is like, huh, okay. And then, we see Snyder.
I think Oz says something else.
What does he say? I didn't write it down.
Says, I got to find me a girl like that.
Does he?
Yeah.
Huh. He does. That's right. Yeah. Well, maybe he will. We'll see. Maybe. And so Snyder gives Buffy a group of kids. And this is when we learn explicitly that these teenagers who don't know these children are taking groups of them trick-or-treating. No parents. This is a legal nightmare. But
it's Sunnydale.
So
go along with it.
I think new headcanon, the parents are all at the gym somewhere having a big party. And that's what's happening. Because we don't see any adults when the chaos starts happening on Halloween. We just see Giles.
Don't see any police either.
That's
or EMS, and there's literally people being shot.
That's standard procedure.
This is where my rating starts coming in. I've got questions. I've got concerns.
That's where we've never seen the
answers.
Police.
This is disturbing.
We do hear sirens at certain points, but so they do a quick cutaway to Ethan. He's praying. He says Janus, and he's speaking Latin. And there's a candle flickering. It looks like almost like a black flame candle to me.
My note was, Is that the creepy costume dude summoning demons? I called it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I did. I called it.
Yeah. And Willow's taking a group to a house. A nice old lady answers the door. And the kids are like, trick or treat. Mid through that, they cut back to Ethan. The candle goes out.
Yeah. He's cast his spell.
He's cast his spell. And he says, in one of the scenes, I can't remember which one, when he's casting, he says, "Chaos, I am thy loyal servant."
Okay, so he's summoning chaos.
He's just...
Gotcha.
Ethan Rayne is an agent of chaos. That's what he likes to do. He likes to fuck shit up and then bounce. So he, midway through these kids getting their candy from this old lady, they turn into actual demons and they attack her. And Willow's like, what the fuck is going on? Lady gets in the house and then Willow collapses.
Yeah, Willow faints. She has trouble breathing.
She dies. She dies and she's like, oh, I'm actually a ghost. What's happening?
Right.
She hears gunshots. She finds Xander's in the street with an actual gun. The toy gun is now an actual rifle. And he's acting like a real soldier. He doesn't know Willow. He's talking in kind of commands, right? He's like, fall in line, get behind me.
Military lingo,
Yeah. And then she's like, we got to find Buffy. And Buffy stumbles into them and her hair is now down. She's looking like, so lost.
Like
and
a damsel in distress.
Right. And they are seeing all these like demons and monsters. And Willow goes, Buffy, what do we do? And Buffy faints. We're in. Oh.
She got the Vespas.
She got the Vespas. So
the vapors?
Vespas? The vapors? Vespers is like a Catholic mass.
Car.
Buffy shows up on a Vespa.
Just the vapors.
The vapors. She needs a smelling salts. So
she did.
They get Buffy up. And I do like this writing because the fact that they made Willow a ghost, she's still Willow, so she knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And Willow,
but she ditches the ghost costume.
Yeah, that's interesting. How come when she became an actual ghost, I guess they probably didn't want Allison Hannigan in a sheet for the entire episode.
I guess not.
But that's a little wibbly wobbly. And they're, Willow's like, fuck, she thinks she's not from this time. She goes, what year is it? And Buffy goes, it's 1775.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And Xander's like, who is this lady? Is she nuts? Like he's talking like he's in the army. And Buffy's like grabbing onto Xander, like, oh man, he can help us. Ugh. They go to Buffy's house because Willow's now like, I got to be in charge of these fools. We got to figure out what's going on. She's got another great line here. She's like, gosh, she couldn't have dressed up like Xena.
Yeah.
And then Xander's got a real gun. He's trying to shoot everything. And Willow's like, yo, there's like, you can't shoot civilians. Oh, the one thing I thought too was funny was they're out on the street still and a car shows up and Buffy goes, a demon. And then Willow's like, it's a car. And Xander's like, she's never seen a car? Like, what's happening?
What's wrong with this lady?
What's wrong with this lady? And so they're in Buffy's house. Cordelia comes in and Willow's like, just giving her the business. She's like, okay, your name is Cordelia. You're not a cat. You're in high school and we're your friends. Well, sort of.
I love Cordelia's response.
She's like, that's nice, Willow. And you went mental when? So Cordelia is still Cordelia.
She's still Cordelia.
And
Giles is still Giles.
Yes.
So what's the magic here? What are we missing?
We're gonna find out.
Okay.
Yeah, Cordelia is like, I was just attacked by Jojo the dog-faced boy. And she says, look at my costume. It's been ripped. And she says, I think what does she say? Like, they're not gonna give me my deposit back.
No.
But she says she got her costume from Party Town. She didn't get it from where everyone else got it.
Put it on the list of costume places in town.
Oh, yes. To the Sunnydale map.
Add it to my Sunnydale geolocations.
And Willow's like, okay, you guys stay here. I'm going to go get help. And Buffy is doing the Southern Belle routine. She's like, it's not our place to fight. Surely some man will come protect us. And Cordelia's like, what is happening? Willow just walks through the wall and she's going to get help. And we have a cute little scene here where it cuts to the street and everyone's running around. Spike's in vamp face and he goes, well, isn't this just neat?
Spike's loving it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's enjoying the chaos.
He is enjoying the chaos.
And he's got his little minions following behind him.
Yeah. And Angel shows up He's like, okay, Buffy, what's going on? It's like utter chaos out there.
Yeah.
And Buffy and Xander at the same time go, who are you? Angel looks great here. He's got a black jacket.
He's back in his
His white kind of low cut shirt. It's a button up.
Back on his bullshit.
Looks good.
Looks good.
And we cut to the library, and Willow scares the shit out of Giles because she just walks through the wall and he goes, ah! What's going on?
Yeah.
They go back to Buffy's house and they're being attacked. And Xander, who's a real soldier, I guess he gets all the like battle knowledge. He's like, okay, Catwoman, you're with me. You take her somewhere else. That's when Buffy says, I want to stay with the guy with the musket. Do you have a musket?
Does he?
Does he ever? Okay. So we go to the library and Willow and Giles are talking about their costumes and what's going on. Mm-hmm. And again, I love to see Willow. I like Willow and Giles working together regardless, but they're the brains. So they're bouncing the ideas off of each other. And she's like, wait a second. Cordelia came and she said her costume was from Party Town. And Giles is like, wait, so she's not a cat? She's like, no, she's still Cordelia. And then she figures it out. She's like, hey, we all got our costumes from this new place called Ethan's. And Cordelia didn't.
Dun, dun,
dun, dun. And go back to Buffy's house. Angel's tussling because the demon got in. Angel's tussling. He turns around and Buffy sees his vamp face and she screams. And she runs away. Not good. Yeah. She gets caught by Larry in an alleyway.
Lair
Bear, who's like an actual pirate now, who's just being kind of gross.
Being very creepy pirate.
Yeah. And this is what they do at the end of Buffy, as we've noted on a lot of episodes. You're switching back and forth between scenes quickly. We're rolling. This is a fast episode, especially at the end.
They're all fast and loose at the end.
They are. Much like Larry would say, they're fast. So Willow and Giles go to Ethan's and they find the Janus statue. And Giles, his hackles are raised. Giles
is pissed.
Yeah. So they go into the costume shop. They see the back. They see the bust of Janice. And Giles is like, oh, yeah, that's Janus. It's a Roman mystical god. And they're going back and forth on what it means. And he's like, Giles says it represents male and female, two sides. Then Ethan hops out of the shadows and says, chunky and creamy style. No, sorry, that's peanut butter. And he's just giving Giles the old
wink, wink, nod, nod.
And Giles says, Willow, get out of here now.
Giles looks like he ran into his ex. That's the face. That's his face. He doesn't even look at Willow. He just tells her to get out.
Yeah, he needs some alone time with his former boyfriend.
You never know what could happen here. I don't like the reference to crunchy.
I hate it. I hate it.
Peanut butter. I don't understand how it makes any sense. I don't like crunchy peanut butter. So I know we've gone down this road years ago.
I know we have, and it's startling every time we hear it.
To hear it used.
Can this be our poll on Spotify?
You don't like the people.
So Willow leaves, and Giles says, "Hello, Ethan." And what does Ethan respond with? What does he say to Giles?
Hello, Ripper.
Who the fuck is Ripper?
Ripper.
Before we go any further to any more scenes, Ryan.
What's up?
Might be time. A little vampire black box theater.
Let's do it.
We will be combining a few scenes for this theater because, as we mentioned, the back half of this episode switches back and forth. So I put all the Giles and Ethan scenes in this one bit. So just giving everyone a heads up. I don't even think anyone would know. Okay, ready? On today's episode of Vampire Black Box Theater, the role of Rupert Ripper Giles will be played by Ryan something.
Ryan Ripper something.
That's your nickname in college. And the roles of Willow and Ethan Rayne will be played by me, Jen Katz. Scene.
Roman Janus. Roman mythical god.
What does this mean?
Primarily the division of self. Male and female, light and dark.
Chunky and creamy. Oh no, sorry, that's peanut butter.
Willow, get out of here now.
But
Now. Excuse me. Now.
she obeys him and goes,
Hello, Ethan.
hello, Ripper. What? No hug? Aren't you pleased to see your old mate, Rupert?
I'm just surprised I didn't guess it was you. This Halloween stunt stinks of Ethan Rayne.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Don't wish to blow my own trumpet. Wow. But it's genius. The very embodiment of be careful what you wish for.
It's sick, brutal, and it harms the innocent.
Oh, and we all know that you are the champion of innocence and all things pure and good, Rupert. It's quite a little act you've got going here, old man.
It's no act. It's who I am.
Who you are. The watcher, sniveling, tweed-clad guardian of the Slayer and her kin? I think not. I know who you are, Rupert, and I know what you're capable of. But they don't, do they? They have no idea where you come from.
Break the spell, Ethan. Then leave this place and never come back.
Why should I? What's in the bargain for me?
You get to live.
Oh, Rupert, you're scaring me. Giles punches him in the gut with a left, making him double over, and follows up with a right to the face. And you said Rupert the Ripper was long gone.
How do I stop the spell?
Say pretty please. Giles kicks him, not holding back. Janice, break the statue. Giles grabs the statue, throws it against the wall. It hits and shatters. Giles turns to Ethan, but Ethan is gone. Scene.
Disappeared.
I think Ethan wants to blow Giles' trumpet.
I think Ethan might have.
There is some.
Or tried to.
We don't know how they know each other.
Right. Sounds like something went awry.
We know. Yes,
they know each other.
They know each other.
They're not on good terms.
It seems like there might, like you said, there's some interaction vibes there.
Yeah.
For me, I do love now that we're seeing a different side of Giles.
I do love this side of Giles.
We've seen not really anything, like we've seen him get stern.
We've seen stern and flustered Giles.
Yes, but not like this. I mean, what Ethan's saying seems like Giles is Ripper.
We've seen commanding Giles from time to time, but this was Giles unplugged.
Love it.
Unhinged.
I wonder what's going to come out of this.
Done.
Ethan's disappeared, so we don't know.
I want to know what happened with these two.
I do too.
Do you know?
I do know. I've seen it. If you want to hear about that, stick around for the spoiler section.
Okay.
Their fun fact, either around this time or in season 3, I can't remember, there were talks of doing a young Giles show.
Yeah, you've mentioned this.
Yeah, like I think they were going to call it Ripper or something. I don't know. And they wanted Anthony Stewart head for it. And he was like, I am too old to do that. Like it's going to be farcical for me to play a 17-year-old version of myself. Oh, yeah. And then it just kind of died. It like never went anywhere. But listen.
They missed an opportunity to time hop with him as an older Ripper.
Something.
Rupert.
Just that's what I need. I want do it now. Do a Ripper show.
Who's your younger Rupert? Who's your younger Giles? Your Ripper.
I would have to think about that. I would really have to think about that.
Gotcha.
Do you have someone?
Gotcha.
That's a good question. Huh. Weirdly, I feel like Josh O'Connor from Challengers could maybe do it.
Oh, yeah.
I think he could be a young Ripper.
Yeah.
I could see it.
A young Giles.
Young Giles.
A young man in tweed.
Okay, there is some, to me, sexual tension between these two. And I'm going to put it out there. Yeah, it's a thing on the internet. People are like Giles and Ethan. It has been a thing since the show came out. It's not a new trend. Like it is there. Those two actors have good chemistry.
Okay. Yeah.
And the way, for me, a lot of it is the way Ethan kind of plays it too, because he's very like, Ripper.
Oh, he's leaning into it.
He's leaning into it. Yeah. And I love it. Yeah. Love it. So, Giles breaks the spell. Hold on just a second.
Yeah. So Giles tosses the the bust
Yeah.
on the floor, shatters it, and the spell breaks right at the same time
Well, yeah.
that Buffy's in a pretty precarious position.
Yes. They've been cornered by Spike and some of the demons.
Yes.
Angel and Xander have been quite easily subdued.
Imagine
that. And I mean, Spike has hit Buffy and she's cowering. She's crying. She's scared.
Spike has her pinned on the ground,
Mhm.
his hands on her throat.
Yeah.
and
About to
he's
go in.
Getting ready to do her in.
Which this next part was interesting to me because when the statue is destroyed or the bust is destroyed and the spell breaks, Spike is holding her wig. So I guess he had like one hand on her throat, one hand on her head.
He did. Yeah, I think he was holding her like this.
Yeah.
He was getting ready to like
Bite her.
I think. Pull her neck up and bite her.
I love a Buffy quip. She goes, "Honey, I'm home," and just punches him.
Whack.
And
Throws him across the room.
And everybody, like Xander's gun is now the toy gun. It's kind of chaos,
Thank
but
God.
Angel's gotten free. The kids who were demons have now turned back into kids.
I'm scared,
Mom. And this, I'm not trying to spoil, but most of you who are here know that Spike is going to continue to be a character on Buffy, right? I'm not going to get into specifics, but Spike gets punched to the ground, is laying there for a minute, could have easily been staked. They let him get up and run away. Okay.
Angel doesn't
No.
interject.
No.
Buffy is, I don't know. Where
He was about
I don't
to
know
kill
where
her.
her head is.
He was about to kill her. And they're like, bye.
And he just like runs away.
He's the Magneto of Buffy. They
Yes,
should have killed him
100%.
all the time, and they don't.
All the time.
Again, not a spoiler because everyone who knows this show knows that he stays in the show.
Sure.
He is the Magneto of Buffy. And if you don't know that reference, go listen to our episode of Unhinged where we talk about X-Men 97 and how the X-Men really should have killed Magneto. Ding. But don't. So there's kind of chaos. Buffy goes off with Angel.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
This is Buffy and Spike's first showdown.
No, they had the one at the high school.
Did they already have
They fought in the high school.
a kick fest?
They had a fighty kick at the high school.
Cool. Never mind.
Yep. Which Joyce saves the day on that one where she hits him with the axe.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the Magneto of Buffy. You will never unsee it. And Angel and Buffy walk off together. Cordelia and Xander are left together. And Cordelia was trying to talk to Angel, and Angel and Buffy just walk away. She's like, words were coming out of my mouth. I was talking. And Xander gives her a piece of advice and is like, give it up. You're not going to get in the middle of them. Trust me, I've tried.
Yeah.
And
He says, trust me, I know. But yes, he means, trust me, I've tried.
yeah, that's right. He does say, trust me, I know.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait a second, where's Willow? Willow has woken back up on the porch.
Thank God.
I know. Jeez Louise. So we can't get into the magic of it because it's not going to make sense. But so she's dead, but now she's not.
Right.
Noted. And she doesn't put her costume back on because I think she's feeling really confident. She was the leader in this whole endeavor.
Yeah. This is kind of the turn.
Mm-hmm.
One of her character developments.
Yeah.
In this episode.
Yeah.
It's really one of the reasons why I like this episode so much. I find it interesting that seems that some of the episodes I'd like the least are ones where the plot is really not kind of plausible for me, but it's where Willow takes charge and becomes a leader for the group.
You like those episodes?
I love those episodes.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's the reason why I like the episode. The rest of it
could do without.
We'll get into here.
All right.
I could do without.
Well, we have a great moment because Willow's walking, I guess, to go meet up with her friends.
She is. She's confident.
She's wearing her non-ghost outfit.
She is. She's owning it.
And Oz is in his zebra striped van.
Love this.
And she walks in front of him and he says,
"Who's that girl?"
And we forgot to mention they have an interaction earlier when they're at the high school. They run into each other, but she's in her ghost costume. And they say, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Mm-hmm.
I love
Cute.
it.
Yeah.
So cute.
I love all the meet cutes between these two.
I do too. And we cut to Buffy's house where this is my fashion sleigh. I like Buffy in her gray sweatpants and her little spaghetti strap shirt.
I don't dislike it.
And she's like, back to old regular 20th century me. And I do like this interaction with her and Angel. They're talking about all of it. And he goes, you really thought I would like you better dressed like that? And she said, yeah. And he goes, I mean, to be honest, I hated the girls back then. They were incredibly dull. I always wished I could meet someone exciting and interesting. Okay. And then they start smooching. They're smooching. Joyce is, where the fuck is Joyce? We don't know. Probably still at the. Wait, were any of the adults affected?
Joyce could be in her bedroom for all we know, because Angel's been there multiple times when Joyce has been.
She has not a clue.
Out. Yeah.
Maybe Joyce, after a long day at the gallery, a long day click-clacking with the IRS, doing her taxes, maybe she just gets an Ambien and a nice glass of red wine. And Joyce is like,
for Ambien.
She's like,
exactly.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
She's like, whatever, Buffy's on her. I mean, Buffy goes out all night, every night. She probably just assumes Buffy's not there.
Maybe Joyce has a gentleman or a lady caller. Who knows?
There's a lot to unpack here.
There is. And they're smooching.
They are smooching. I think one of the reasons you might like this scene so much is that they're actually communicating.
They are. And maybe
they're talking about their feelings. They're talking about who they are. They're being honest about one another. And they're smooching. And if you think that smooching in sweatpants on her bed with his shirt halfway unbuttoned didn't lead to something more than smooching, come on.
Here's the thing. I thought about this because we both said the same thing when we were watching it. For me, there would have been more. There would have been absolutely more than smooching.
Yes.
I have friends that I know to this day that they would have not gone past smooching. That was their journey. I was on a hoe journey in my high school days. Oh,
guilty as charged.
But I had the thought afterwards. I was like, I know personally people who weren't doing that in high school. They were smooching, but they weren't boning.
Sure. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about these two. There would definitely been some
It's a little
we find out
wobbly.
later that it definitely did not happen.
Yeah.
And we will explain that in the spoiler section.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the final scene is next day. It's daytime. Giles goes back to the costume shop. There's no costumes. It's all disheveled. He just walks in. So sure,
you
Sunnydale.
Think people are going back to return those costumes after the night like that.
True. And he finds a handwritten note that says,
"What's it say?
Be
Read
seeing you."
That's it.
That's it. And that was Halloween.
Are we ready for steak ratings?
You know it.
Oh, someone put a steak in me.
See, that's the good accent work. That's not
It's great.
What does he
we
say?
don't know what it is.
Baby's got claws. What does he say?
We didn't remember it. We just
blocked it out. Okay, Ryan, what is your steak rating for this episode?
I really wanted to give this a 3, but after chatting about it with you again, I'm going to bump it up to a 3.5.
Yahoo! I love this episode.
Okay. Halloween did blend like the horror and the character development. A little bit of foreshadowing for future episodes of what might be coming on Buffy soon, but we see a very intriguing and chaotic plot unfold as the characters kind of transform into their Halloween costumes, and it was just a lot for me. Okay. Gets a little squirrely, especially toward the end where there's so much happening, and this is why some of these Monster of the Week plots just kind of get me, because they try to wrap it up so fast at the end that some of it doesn't even make any sense. But this was good. The newcomer, Ethan Rayne, so we have a new character who's been developed. The two things that I liked about this was Ethan's appearance. So we know that this episode is going to introduce a new character as well as dive into Giles and his past and what that might mean for Giles's character development, and B, what that's going to mean for the total plot of the show. Yeah. Something's going on here. We don't know what it is, but we're going to find out.
Maybe we will.
Maybe. The other thing that I liked about this episode, again, to reiterate what I mentioned earlier, was Willow's confidence.
Willow's your girl.
Confidence boost. Yeah. I love Willow. To see her kind of transform from the shy to more of the bold character by the end of the episode, I love that for her. And I love it when we see episodes where this happens. Again, I noted that it seems to be on episodes where I'm not really buying the plot. Could just be coincidental. But I do love an episode where Willow takes the lead because she's such a strong character. I really like her intentions as a character. I just kind of like to see her be a bit more bold and assertive in her life and around her friends. So, based upon all that, I think overall that this is a 3.5 for me.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. What about you?
Same. I gave it a 3.5. Yeah.
Wow, I thought this was like in your top 15.
It is, but some
It's
of
not a 4 then.
Well, now I need to see.
Sorry,
No, I'm
being
trying to think.
snarky.
What do I rate a 4?
You can be whatever you want. 3.5. I love that. Good for you.
Well, now I'm trying to think. Why won't I give it a 4? I don't really have a good reason. Because I do love. Okay.
It's a 4.
I'm gonna give this episode a 4.
Haha.
Every time I watch it, I enjoy it. I was laughing out loud when we were watching it.
Yeah, you were.
I love a twisting the world on its head story. Like I love when it's alternate reality or body swap or character. Like that's my crunchy peanut butter.
My God.
So that's how we're gonna do it. And I really enjoy seeing Sarah Michelle Gellar when she gets to play a different character on Buffy besides Buffy.
I do agree.
We see it a few times and I love it. It's a fun episode. There's good communication between Buffy and Angel, which hasn't really been the case. Love to see it. All of your points about Willow, I agree with full stop. Seeing her get to be in charge, seeing her find that confidence in herself is amazing. You know, she quickly realizes when Buffy's down for the count, she's like, all right, well, someone's got to step up. It's going to be me. Mm-hmm. And it's when, I think you said in the episode, when Buffy is funny, it is so funny. And this is a funny episode. We get to see Spike. Mm-hmm. Always love to see Spike.
Yeah.
I love Halloween in general. Love a costume moment. And it does really set up a lot of storylines for future episodes, which I think is fantastic. I really enjoy this episode. And I think, it's got its issues, like some of the production, some of the vamp makeup. Season 2, I get it. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 4. It's a really damn good episode. I like the writing, like the acting. I love it. So yeah, 4 for me.
Yeah. I love that all of the major characters were in this except for Joyce.
Yeah, Joyce.
And Miss Calendar. But
yeah, Jenny. Well,
where is she?
Giles couldn't have his current girlfriend meet his ex-boyfriend without vetting the situation first.
You can't have the two girlfriends meet.
Not yet.
She's up to some fucking wicked shit on Halloween.
She's got to be. She's a techno-pagan. She's into it.
He should have been spending Halloween with her.
Yeah, why was he at the library?
This is a fanfic.
Write it.
Jenny appears at the library at midnight on Halloween and thinking she's going to
surprise Rupert
in her sexy whatever outfit.
What do you think she would be?
Sexy techno-pagan.
Well,
okay.
we will have a brief spoiler section after the outro music, so stick around if you've seen Buffy and you know what we're going to talk about, or if you haven't and you like to live dangerously, because I like that.
If you liked what you heard, please be sure to follow, rate, and review us on your preferred streaming service. And stay up to date with the latest episode drops and additional fun content. Please follow us on social media. We are at Once More Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Yes, we realize our episode last week did not have a video component. Production is probably still working on it. So
Fired.
Reptile Boy, no video for that week, but hopefully
you see us this week.
Hopefully. And Once More is produced by us, Jen Katz and Ryan Something, and our original cover art is by Courtney McKenzie, PhD. Shout out Dr. McKenzie.
Thank you for tuning in to Once More. We'll see you next Friday for episode 7 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Lie to Me.
That is a great episode. Yes. Cannot wait for that. I'm Jen Katz. I'm sorry. No, you yeah. No.
Sure.
Oh, be sure to check out our latest episodes of Unhinged. Shockingly, this is not an Unhinged episode. Those are released every Wednesday. I'm Jen Katz.
And I'm Ryan Something.
Bye. Spoilers. So, got a few things to talk about.
We do have a few things to talk about. Okay, one of the things that I liked about this episode again was we have all of our major characters And all of them have been paired off in this episode
They
somehow.
have.
So we have Ethan, Rayne, and Giles.
Boy, do we.
Something going on here. Let's deal with this first because this is the big one.
I hate that they don't make it canon that they had a thing, because they obviously had a thing.
It appears so.
It's never they never say in the comics or anything. They allude.
Don't be that one person in our comments. It's like, you're making it a thing. We know who you are.
Don't. Stop, please. Anyway.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to learn this season. Is it the Mark of Igon? Is it this season? Yeah. So Giles and Ethan, along with a few other people, used to be in like this dark magic cult where they were definitely all fucking. I think it's like it was the punk movement in the 70s, 80s in England. They were doing a lot of, it was like a magical drug. They would get like euphoric and hallucinate. I'm like, you mean to tell me there wasn't any trumpets being blown? I don't buy it. I do not buy it. Anyway, but yeah, we learned that Ethan Rayne is a friend of Giles from his past. Giles has a past where he was Ripper. He was a badass.
Do we think Giles is a top or a bottom?
Top.
Okay.
He gives off that energy for sure.
Yeah.
But like Angel and Buffy are paired off. They don't consummate their relationship. That's going to come.
Angel and Buffy are paired off. Yeah.
Well, yes, they are. But sorry, what did I say? Yeah. They don't consummate their relationship that night. They will be doing that.
They get really close, but we know that they don't because the world doesn't end.
No. We will see in later this season. Yeah. We've talked about it in spoilers before, but
we got Willow and Oz.
Yeah. Willow and Oz.
They're continuing to set that up.
Yes. Daniel Osborne.
I'm ready for more.
I am too.
They're just like, oh, who is that? Like,
I love Willow and Tara, but I really love Willow and Oz too. Like, Willow and Oz have a great, great relationship. And Seth Green's such a good actor. He's great. Love him.
Spike and Drusilla.
Yes.
They're paired up again. And they are what they are.
They are what they are. And Cordelia and Xander.
They, again, at the end of the episode, put the two together where there's a little bit of kind of a last minute comic relief, but also a will they, won't they?
There's a connective moment there.
They keep doing it.
They do.
So.
And I think it's the end of the season. It's when Kendra shows up, which I think we've talked about, like, What's My Line Part 1, maybe, when they send the three after Buffy and Xander and Cordelia start making out. And they become like, that's what they're like, make out bandits. They're not really dating until season 3, I believe. They just get in closets and make out.
Cool. Love that.
Yeah. Another spoiler is we meet Larry.
Get a t-shirt that says make out bandit.
You should absolutely get a t-shirt that says make out bandit.
See what happens.
And Larry is going to be the bully for a while. And then we learn that Larry's hiding a secret. Larry's gay.
Is he?
So Larry, as we saw in this episode, he's really gross about Buffy. And he continues to kind of do that. He always makes really crass remarks to women and about women. And yeah, I mean, it turns out that he's gay. He's closeted.
He thinks the bully does protest too much.
Yeah.
Huh.
He confesses to Xander. And he starts acting.
He comes out to Xander?
He comes out to Xander, yeah.
Oh, this is perfect.
I think this is this season or season 3.
Because he knows Xander's a safe place to come out to because Xander and his homeboy.
Old Jesse.
R.I.P.
Pour one out for the homie. More like Xander and Angel.
Xander and Angel, Xander and Jesse, Xander and Larry.
Yeah. But I mean, he later on makes a comment about he was so out that his grandma starts setting him up with guys. What? So yes, Larry is going to be the bully for most of this season. I'd have to double check either the end of this season or by season 3, he comes out to Xander.
Cool.
Fortunately, Larry bites the dust in graduation day. No. He's killed in the fight.
No.
Yeah. Larry's dead at the end of the graduation fight with the mayor. So poor Larry.
Hardly knew ye.
We hardly knew ye. But yeah, Ethan's going to come back. We're going to see him next in Band Candy, maybe. I can't remember. No, the Mark of Igon. He's going to come back in this season, definitely in season 3. And
he's a reoccurring character.
Yes.
But not often.
He's in my fanfic. Oh. Yeah. Ethan Rayne. I think that's all I got for the spoilers.
Cool. That's all I got.
All right. See you later.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.